Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
Hi, we welcome you in. Glad you're along with us. What a special day this is. A very special Nimnik Tuesday. And we're live from Firehouse in Juleston Creek. And Brenton Strange is here already telling people to get fired up. Brenton, how are you, man?
I'm great. How you guys doing today?
Man, great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. For people that don't know, you do by now, but come on out to the Firehouse Subs here in Juleston Creek. Brenton's going to be signing autographs. He's going to be here till about 5 o'clock or so, and they're already, look at that. They're not lining up for you, Hayes. They're here for Brent. So it's okay. And but it's great. So we're going to keep Brenton here just a few minutes, and then he's going to go deal with the fans. The Roar is here, so it's a beautiful day to talk Jaguar football. Number one, congratulations on your success. You guys are playing at a great level. A big part of that is the fact that you're back. So how do you feel? You look great out there, and congratulations on this success of late.
I appreciate it, man. I'm just trying to be me out there every single week, and I think that's the most important thing. That's my message every single week to myself, is just to go out there and do what I love, do what I've been doing since I've been a kid. You know, it's not anything different. It's a different stage and everything, and obviously a bigger responsibility for sure, but it's just playing football at the end of the day, so that's the way I look at it.
On the touchdown catch Sunday, walk us through that play. How did it open up for you?
Yeah, we actually been practicing that play for a long time, so I'm happy we finally got to call it. And it was a great play call to the defense that they were in. They were in the middle field open. And as soon as I saw the safety turn his shoulders a little bit, I knew I had a chance to get in that end zone. So I was just, happy to get the play called and get it executed.
Brenton, this team's playing really well. I mean, 8 wins now, 3 in a row, 4 of the last 5. Why? And again, you're back. That's a big part of it. But guys are slowly making their way back. Brian Thomas Jr. was great to have him back last week.
Yeah.
Why are you guys playing so well?
I think it's our preparation and what we do day in and day out and how we come into the facility and approach our work. That's the most important thing. Just taking it day by day and staying where your feet are and being present in the moment. And I think that this team does a great job of doing that and then, attacking on the details and doing everything we need to do to be successful. So I feel like if we keep doing what we're doing every single day, doing the right things, everything will work itself out the way it's supposed to.
I have been amazed with how Jakobi Meyers can show up after the trade deadline, process the offense so quickly, and execute at such a high level. Brenton, what's it been like getting to know Jakobi, and what's been your evaluation of how he's been able to acclimate so quickly?
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Me and Jakobi, I mean, we didn't really necessarily train together every single day in the off season, but in the off season, he would be working out after me or he would work out before me. So I got to see a little bit of Jakobi and just learn from him. He's been in the league for a long time. He's a smart player. So that's a big reason why he's able to come in and, get the offense down and everything. But Jakobi, he's a special talent, man. I love the way that he approaches his work and how he is, just handling his business as a football player. So that's a big reason why he's able to come in and know the offense and be able to just get right into the flow. Like he's been there the whole entire time.
Brenton, you've been telling us about this Parker Washington guy since the day you got here, and my goodness, what a year he's having. What a terrific player. You've known him forever. You guys have been teammates forever. He's a special dude, too, isn't he?
Special, that's the word, man. Parker, he's different, man, and I just love the way that he plays the game. Everything that he does, from the punt returns to the receivers, it's just a big play waiting to happen. That's him. P-Dub, that's my guy, man. I'm so happy that he's having the success that he's had this year, and he's only going to keep getting better.
How much do you enjoy after a victory and Liam coming in and talking to you guys and the locker room, because the fire and the edge that it seems like he's brought, it from an outside perspective seems like it's very powerful.
It is very powerful when your leader has that edge. It makes you want to go harder for him. It makes you want to go harder for your teammates, and it brings the level and the standard up. That's what we expect out of everybody, and I think Liam's done a great job of coming in and setting that bar for us and just being a great leader for our team.
I've gotten to know you enough now to know you're a humble guy and you'd rather talk about your teammates than yourself, but I'm going to make you change that a little bit. Jeff Logman and I call the games. Jeff says, I think Brenton Strange is as good as any tight end in the league. Mm-hmm. I think you're playing at a great level. There's move tight ends, there's blocking tight ends, and then there's guys like you that do both.
Yep.
How comfortable are you with the level you're playing at and how you're starting to emerge now? A lot of us knew it, but now the league is seeing how good a player you are.
Yeah, I think it's just the beginning. I think that I have a level that I still haven't even reached yet. I'm still going out there and learning. It's my first year being a starter, my first year really just being out there full time. And, part of that is just getting comfortable. And I feel like I'm comfortable now for sure. But, I think that there's still so many more things in my game that I can improve on and continue getting better. And whether that be as a football player or being a leader for this organization, I think there's a lot that I can still reach. And I'm chasing that every day. I'm trying to chase perfection and always just, try to play the perfect game. You never get there and play the perfect game, but it's all about just chasing perfection every single week.
What kind of opportunity do you guys have on Sunday?
We have a great opportunity, man. I saw a couple people on social media say it's a very big game. I hope you guys pack it out. I hope you guys are loud.
Yes.
I want it to be the loudest that Everbank has ever been. So since I've been here, so pack it out, man. Let's do the thing.
That's a great thing. Let me wrap with this because we're all excited about the fact that the Jags and Colts are playing for sole possession of first place this week. What's it like playing a division team? I mean, they're all good teams. Every team in the NFL is good.
For sure.
But this is the division game.
Yeah.
I think your blood boils a little more then, doesn't it?
You see it. I mean, there was a couple scuffles. In the Titans
there were a handful. Yeah,
I kept turning around. I'm like, another one. But
with LeQuint, you guys are going to have that every game.
Yeah. I like that fire out of him too, man. You need guys like that on your team. So it's definitely a different type of game every time you play in division. It's the tension's a little bit higher because you play the guys 2 times a week or 2 times a year, and you see them a lot more. And but at the end of the day, I got to look at it as another game. I don't got no feelings towards them. If they got some feelings towards me, it is what it is. But I'm just going to go out there and play ball, try to handle business.
Brenton Strange here to sign autographs. They're already lining up there, so we're not going to keep any longer, Brenton. But thank you for spending some time. Again, congratulations on a great year you guys have it. I mean that very sincerely.
Yes, sir.
Brenton Strange, the tight end for the Jaguars, a big reason why these Jags are playing so very well right now. They are playing at a really good level, and it's great to have Brenton stop by here. And again, they're all out there waiting on him. The autograph line is starting. I thought it was going to be in here. I think it may be out there, but a lot of people here to get autographs from the Jaguars tight end, Brenton Strange. Really good dude and really playing at a very high level. So it's great to see Brenton here. Look at that line.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That line is lined. I thought it was for you. I didn't realize until Brenton got here.
I thought it was for Tom.
Tom Champion said not him. Okay, so hey, we're glad you're here. We're live now. We are at Firehouse Subs here on State Road 13, but in Julington Creek, in the Fruit Cove area. Come on out and see us. He's going to be here. Brenton's going to be here till 5 o'clock. The Roar is here. There's giveaways galore here. You're going to have the big time here. So come out and say hello to the folks at Firehouse Subs. You'll be awfully glad you did. And what a way to kick off the program, huh?
Unbelievable.
Brenton stops by, and that's how we start the program. We got a lot to do. When we come back, we'll keep it on Jaguar football. My friend Bucky Brooks jumps in. The Buck stops here, and that happens after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get hit by the man in the back, Tommy Mack.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads.
Fridays on Jaguars Today. On Locks by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Hey friends, Frank Frangie here. You know me. I don't mess around when it comes to taking care of business. Well, if your plumbing or AC company is giving you excuses, it's time to make a trade. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. They're the trusted partner for some of the biggest commercial names in Northeast Florida. Their office team keeps billing smooth, and their field techs show up ready to fix the problem, fast and right. Bring in the starters with Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Tell them Frank sent you.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
The mix of salty sea air and burnt rubber. The big skies, high banks, and grandstands. The rumble in your chest. That's what we love about the Daytona 500. Honoring history and making it. At the biggest race of the year on the biggest stage of a lifetime. The Daytona 500. You got to see it to believe it. February 15th, 2026. Secure your experience now at Daytona500.com.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops upon Avedra.
Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coating. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
The buck stops here. Time now for Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Coyle & Sons, Jacksonville's commercial fence specialist, on The Frangie Show.
All right, we do thank our friends from Coyle & Sons, the best fencers in town, 904-356-4821. You can log on to coiljacks.com, commercial fencing, residential, you name it. That's they're the folks that call it. Again, we're live at Firehouse Subs here in the Julington Creek area. Come on by and see us. Brenton Strange is here. It was good to have Brenton on just a moment ago. He was fantastic, and the line is lined up to get his autograph, so come on by and say hello here at Firehouse Subs. Bucky Brooks joins me now to talk about these Jaguars. Bucky, I'll tell you, and we were just telling Brenton this a minute ago, it's one thing to have upsets and it shocked the world. Those are great. But when you become a good team, then it's business as usual, isn't it? And I felt like that's where this team has come. You show up, you play a team not as good as you, you beat them by a casual score, and I think the Jags have arrived there. Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had to learn how to get to that point. And all the lessons from earlier, you talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, you think about what they had to go through with the Arizona Cardinals, 2 overtime games against teams that they were better than, served them well when it came to playing the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. They took care of business. They jumped on them. And I wouldn't say that it was an A-plus performance, but in these games in the National Football League, when you're better than a team, it's hard to blow them out. You have to methodically kind of knock them out. That's what the Jaguars were able to do. So even if you grade it as a B, B+, it was good enough to go on the road, win a game, against a division rival and then move on to the next one. We're on number 8. That's a great way to get it done.
Bucky, it seems like to me that they found a rhythm of sorts, and you and Jeff and I talk about this during the broadcast a lot. But there's a rhythm, and I think some of that is personnel-induced. They now know who their 3-4 receiver rotation is. They know it's going to be Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington and the rest. I think they now know who their secondary is going to be. Monteric Brown's a regular. Jarian Jones is a regular. Jordan, does it feel that way to you that there's now a rhythm, there's not as much surprise in who's going to play and how they play? Does it feel that way watching it from the sideline the way you do?
Well, yeah, because, like, Frank, there's a thing about every team, right? We go into the season thinking about, oh, this is how we want to play. But then about mid-year, after you evaluate your team, you see your personnel and how it matches up to the X's and O's, those things, then you figure out, hey, this is how we got to play based on what we have. It took Liam Cohen and his staff about midway through the season to kind of figure out who they are, what works for the quarterback, what works around the quarterback, what works on defense, and those things. And now you're seeing the best players play in those things. And remember, going into the bye week, Liam talked about, hey, man, I got to figure out who needs to be on the field. This is where we need to kind of make these determinations. And from that point, if you really look back from the Vegas week on, you've seen the defense play better. You've seen the offense kind of hit a rhythm where they were scoring over 24, 25 points a game. Everything is kind of coming into place because you know who you are, and it's easy to build a team in a game plan when you know exactly where the ball needs to go.
Does Trevor seem as confident to you now as he does to me? I mean, Trevor's a good player. He's had some up and downs from a statistical standpoint. We all know that. We've talked about that ad nauseum, I suppose. But he seems when quarterbacks seem confident, it's like a pitcher that seems confident. When a pitcher seems confident, he can throw it inside, he can throw it outside, he's not afraid to get behind in the count. I feel that way with Trevor. Do you feel that way with Trevor, that all of a sudden there's an air of confidence when he runs out there that maybe wasn't there until late?
Yeah, it is very apparent. And I think, like, it's going to sound crazy when I say this, but I think he had the epiphany in the moment against the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. In the midst of that turnover spree, Trevor lived up to what Liam has been preaching, which was let it rip. Man, let it go. Be fearless. You have to throw it. You got to put it out there. You got to throw it into tight windows and times, but you can't hesitate. You got to be fearless, not reckless. But when you're fearless, man, you're going to make some great throws. And the reason why it paid off, and it was very apparent early in this game against the Titans, the Titans were playing a two-deep zone. So they had all eyes on Trevor, and they're trying to play vision and break coverage on him. So wherever he's looking, they're going to break a little early in hopes of getting their hands on the ball. Well, the only way to defeat that kind of coverage is you got to anticipate where the wide receiver is going to be, and you have to, quote-unquote, throw him open. That's what Trevor was doing. But the only way you're able to do that, if you're confident enough to let it rip, to just let it go and trust that my receiver is going to be there. So maybe some of the hesitancy earlier was, hey, I don't trust the receivers, so I'm going to wait until they're wide open to throw it. Oh, I don't trust them because they're going to drop it. But now he's developed a rapport and a trust that, hey, when I throw it, particularly to Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington, I know they're going to catch it, so I'm going to let it rip and let them make me look good. That's the difference, and that's the confidence that you're seeing. He's more comfortable because he trusts the people that he's throwing to.
I think you're right, too, about the Arizona game. I think what you said is dead on. Look, he made a bunch of mistakes early in that game, and he seemed to say, screw it, didn't he? I mean, screw it. I'm going to keep letting it fly, and I'm going to let it rip, and I don't care. I made some mistakes that got us in a hole. Now I'm going to make a bunch of good plays and win the game. I mean, that game was a turning point, wasn't it? He feels different after the way that game ended.
100%. And I'm going to give you a baseball analogy because you know baseball so well. Okay, so if you're always scared to strike out, but you're a home run hitter, you're never going to be what you can be. But if you're a home run hitter and you just chalk up the strikeouts to like, oh, well, you're still going to be aggressive in the count. Trevor Lawrence is not worrying about the strikeouts. He is looking for the home run. And what is happening by being more aggressive, we're seeing more explosive plays. Just think about the last two games. Even with all the turnovers, we're having more explosive plays. More things are happening. The offense scores because of the direct relation of having those explosive plays show up. And it's only going to get better because I'm telling you, Brian Thomas Jr. coming back and being able to be a factor on the outside, buying into the program and those things, it is only going to open up the field. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see the best of Trevor Lawrence down the stretch because he is letting it rip and he's having outstanding results as a result.
Hayes made an interesting point on my show, on our show yesterday, and I want to ask you about it. It almost seems like I'm going to say this the right way. I don't want to say Brian Thomas was ever not tough. You have to be tough. You can't play in the NFL if you're not tough. But it almost seems like by osmosis, Buck, that he sees how physical Jacoby Myers is and how physical Parker Washington is as blockers and how physically they kind of catch the ball in the middle of the field. And it's almost made its way to him a little bit. He's always been a guy that's explosive and can stretch the field. But it almost seems like he played with a physicality. Guys, he was blocking down the field. It almost seems like he kind of caught that from those guys. Does it work like that a little? It can, right?
Yes, it can, because we talked about it, peer pressure, right?
Yeah.
When you're in a room and you have like 8 wide receivers, we're all looking at the tape. When you don't show a level of toughness that your peers show, you feel different in that room. No one wants to be singled out as the guy that is not courageous when you have a team full of tough guys in the room. And what has happened, not just in terms of like being tough, I think a couple of things have happened. One, when the Jaguars held him accountable to his performance, whether it's the drops, whether it's the lackluster effort and those things, and he didn't come right back and jump into the starting lineup.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, Frank, it doesn't matter how much someone gets paid. The one thing that gets through to people is when you sit them down on the bench. When you sit them down, there's something magical about those aluminum bleachers that allow you to be like, you know what? I might need to play a little better. I may need to give a little effort. And what you saw, and I thought it was very fair, when Jacoby Myers caught that ball and all of a sudden Brian Thomas is running down the field blocking, I was like, aha. Once again, another case of the aluminum bleachers changing behavior.
That's a great point. It does happen. That aluminum bleacher changes your side. That's a great point, because it's true. I mean, the best coaches say, "My best friend's the bench," and that's a great point. And I'm telling you, it did change him. So I want to fast forward. You cover all these teams with your work on the network, so I don't see them, and we don't see them around here as much as you do. Tell me about the Colts. Why are they suddenly really good? It's got to be more than just Daniel Jones. That's a big part of it, because they kind of found their quarterback. But it's more than that, isn't it? Why are they suddenly one of the better teams in the league?
Well, the one thing that Daniel Jones was giving him early is he's a guy, and people are going to take offense to it when you say this, but he's a high-end game manager, meaning great instincts, intangibles, understands how to run the operation, manages the game, gets them in good plays, makes enough plays to keep the offense on schedule, but that offense is run through Jonathan Taylor. Now, the difference between being a game manager and a game changer is when you put the ball on his shoulders, can he make those plays? So earlier in the year, teams weren't necessarily respecting him. They were paying attention to Jonathan Taylor, so he was hurting them. Well, about midway through the season, when they ran off to that 7-1 or whatever start, people started saying, okay, man, let's make it hard on him. Now, the turnovers have started to come, and he's shown he can't necessarily carry the offense if it's all on him, and that's why it's been a little more difficult. But if you allow them to play ahead of the chains, if you allow the running game to get going, he is good enough to hurt you. And then defensively, Lou Anarumo is a really good coordinator. He's going to change the picture. He's going to give you a lot of different things. He doesn't have one thing that's in his wheelhouse that you know, hey, when we play him, he's going to do anything. He'll spin the wheel and do anything. So they're a very difficult team to play, particularly when they get a lead and they're able to dictate the terms. That said, they've lost throughout their last 4.
Right.
Danny Jones has come back to the pack. And so this is the perfect time to get them because they're vulnerable right now.
What kind of a game do we expect on Sunday? It's going to be, weather's going to be a little cooler. It's going to be played in the 60s and the 50s. It's got a high chance of rain because it could be a little bit messy. Is it a low-scoring game? Is it Jonathan Taylor versus Travis Etienne, who runs for the most? I mean, or do they go up and down the field? What kind of a game do you expect here on Sunday?
Well, I think for the Colts, like what happens is when you lost 3 or 4, you want to get back to, hey, man, I'm going to make sure that my best player has the biggest impact on the game. To me, a perfect game for them is Jonathan Taylor getting 20 to 25 carries, not touches, carries. They want to run the football. They want to control the game. They want to keep it out of harm's way because Daniel Jones, it has a propensity to turn it over. And then for the Jaguars, it's the same thing. We want to run the ball because we are at our best when we run the football, and that creates opportunities in the passing game. To me, I expect this game to be in the low 20s. It's a division rivalry, but the one thing that we know, particularly at the bank, when they come out with them little horseshoes on the helmet, we expect to win. That has been the thing in Jacksonville forever. When they come out with their little pretty white uniforms and run out, we expect to beat them. So I think we'll have a lot of confidence knowing that we got them in the house. But it's going to be it's going to be a head knocker. It's going to be a very physical affair because it's a division game. But more importantly, there's huge implications on this. So it'll be a little more violent, a little more physical, but it should be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun watching a game where the winning and losing really matters to both teams, including our team. So we'll see what happens. Bucky Brooks checks in, talks NFL football. Nobody does a better job, and you hear him every Sunday on our broadcast with Jeff Lago and me. Buck, thanks, buddy. See you on Sunday.
All right, man. See you.
All right, Bucky Brooks checking in, does a fantastic job of talking NFL football. I want to go back to something that you said yesterday that he talked about, that Brian Thomas Jr. suddenly is a physical player. And you noticed, just one of the first things you pointed out on our show yesterday, and I got thinking about it, you're right, the blocking down the field. Bucky made a good point. You don't want to be the one guy, and again, I'm not saying he was a soft player. I'm just saying he just wasn't known as physical like he played on Sunday. You don't want to be the one guy in the receiver room when they're showing all the tape and highlights or whatever, cut-ups. You don't want to be the one guy that you don't see knocking people down, right? Yeah, I mean, hey, look, he knocked him down. Hey, look, you want to be one of the guys knocking people down. I mean, I think watching Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington do it has affected Brian Thomas Jr.
I completely agree with that. And, you look at what Jacoby Myers has been able to do has been one of the most remarkable things I've seen a Jaguars player do since I started covering this team in 2013. For him to arrive at the deadline, and I mean, it almost makes you wonder how important really is training camp. I mean, here's the guy that shows up and immediately becomes one of their best players on the team. I mean, a reliable receiver, a playmaking receiver, and it has to translate down to everyone else in the room. The other thing, too, that I'd be curious about with Brian Thomas Jr., I wonder, he's a young player. I wonder if there was a little bit of, look, I was third in the NFL in receiving yards last year. The staff gets blown out. Now I've got to get used to a new staff. Maybe there were, maybe it was harder for him to buy in maybe a little bit to it.
Right.
Now you're flash forwarding to him returning to the field, and the Jaguars are in control of their destiny to win the division. They're in fantastic shape. The locker room was obviously fully bought in. I think that's only been strengthened in the time that Brian Thomas Jr. was inactive. So I think all that plays into it to where, I mean, it's hard to not get on board now with the success the team is having, the individual success stories in the receiver room. Myers we talked about, but Parker Washington's been incredible. I mean, he's leapfrogged Brian Thomas Jr., leapfrogged him
right.
in terms of importance.
Yeah, that's right.
In terms of contribution to this season. So I think all that factors in. And there could have been other things going on off the field with Brian Thomas Jr. that we don't know about. But it was encouraging how he played in Nashville on Sunday. And I do think it's going to be harder for him, to your point about the film room, it's going to be harder for him to go into that film room with plays on the field, with him shrinking from contact, ducking his head into his shoulders, alligator arming. I think that's over because, to your point, the room is too strong now to allow that.
No question about it. So great to talk some Jaguar football. Brenton Strange started the program here. Do want to remind you, he's going to be here at Firehouse Subs till about 5 o'clock, signing autographs, saying hello, and he's a really engaging guy. He's a good dude on top of being a really good player. So you've got till 5 o'clock. Come on by, get your autograph signed, say hello to Brenton Strange. You'll be awfully glad you did. And, again, thanks to my friend Bucky Brooks for stopping by talking Jaguars. It's been all Jaguars so far in the program. By the way, let me say this to my friend Tom Champion, who sits to my left here. I'm told tomorrow's a pretty special day at the radio station. Have you heard about that, Tom? You have heard about that? My old friend Steve Simmons, who I hadn't seen in a while, thank you, Steve, just said, I want to get this right. Let's start with $5,000.
Wow.
How about that? He said, Frank, I heard it on your show. I want you to do it. I wanted to connect it there. He said, I know it's not till tomorrow, but he just sent $5,000 to the J Fund to get this. Is that a good way to start this thing? How about that?
That's fantastic.
Out of the gate. Steve, thank you. Steve's son, Michael, who's a terrific baseball player, used to play for our Warriors team, and Steve's an all-time good guy. And, Steve, thank you for that. And this is really good stuff. So out of nowhere, $5,000. That's the kind of day we got going right here, okay? So, Steve, thank you very much for that $5,000 donation. And, again, we'll tell you all day long, our friend Tom Champion, who does so much good work on this, and we're proud to work alongside Tom. But Tom's the battle horse, I promise you on this. But we're very proud of what our radio stations had the honor to do side by side with the J Fund. So we can't wait till tomorrow. We can't wait to see it happen. And we're 5,000 to the good right out of the gate.
There's nothing better than when Tom runs into the
Oh,
studio.
yeah, absolutely.
Because he's got updated numbers for us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And he's only been there about 38 hours already, okay,
Right.
and he comes in there. So, but tomorrow's a special day. All these days are special. We sure appreciate our friends at the J Fund and what they do. Steve, thank you so much for reaching out. What a kind gesture to start this thing off. And, by the way, you still got another half hour to come by here and see Brenton Strange, so we hope you will do that. Love to talk Jaguar football. We'll take a break. We'll go back to kind of the Sumrall, Kiffin, all that stuff coming up. I got a thought about that. And we heard from John Sumrall last night. That was kind of cool. Heard from yesterday afternoon. I watched it last night. We were on the air. I went and watched it last night, so I'll give you my thoughts on that. Brad White, the brand new defensive coordinator, comes from Kentucky. A lot of thoughts coming up. This is 10-10.
That's a good hire.
It is a very good hire. No question. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
10-10 is down 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This holiday season, Universal Roof and Contracting is making it easy to check roof repairs off your list. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through December 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000, and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Bueller,
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. 10-10
Take.
The 10-10 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, septic, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. I am going to defend my university. I am going to defend my athletic director. I'm going to defend the board of trustees because Hayes was all over him yesterday. I'm going the other way, Hayes. Here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? They offered Lane Kiffin the job. They offered Lane Kiffin the total money. I found out a lot of stuff last night. They offered him in writing the exact same contract that LSU gave him, the exact same contract. They offered him everything he wanted. They acquiesced on the general manager stuff. Since then, Strickland, but all of Florida has been beat up for it. Well, I'll tell you what, if I own a pizza shop, and I'd be a good pizza shop owner, by the way. If I own a pizza shop, or my buddy, if Tom over here owned a pizza shop, and I say, hey, Tom, do me a favor. Hire my nephew to be your driver. Hire him for $25 to deliver. And if Tom said to me, no, I'm not doing that, well, I'd be disappointed. But if Tom said, yes, I'll do that for you, Frank, and called my nephew and offered him money to be the delivery driver, and the nephew said no, well, I'm not mad at Tom anymore. Tom offered him the job. The nephew said no. The reality is, from everything you heard last night, and I learned a lot about it last night, that they were in lockstep. Scott Strickland, and he named, by the way, the 3 trustees that were involved in that. Rahul Patel, Patrick Zalewski from here in Jacksonville, and Fred Ridley. He named all 3 guys. Well, I can tell you those are the 3 guys of the 12 men, the 12 Board of Trustees, chaired by Maury Hosseini. They're the 3 that were in charge of this search, along with Scott Strickland. They wanted Lane Kiffin. That's who I hoped they would get. They offered Lane Kiffin the job. Lane Kiffin, I've heard how he, the Visor and Spurrier, and he wanted the job, and Layla and the Swamp. Well, they offered him the job. They said, you know what? Here's the job. We'll pay you as much as anybody else is going to pay you. We'll give you as much NIL as anybody else is going to give you. We'll do all that. And you don't want GM? We'll acquiesce. You bring your own GM. And he still didn't take it because Jimmy Sexton and other people talked him into the fact that LSU was the same job. He wanted or a better job. He wanted the job enough that he sent his family to check out Gainesville the same way he did Baton Rouge. And he picked another job. And by the way, you can pick whatever job you want. But the fact of the matter is, Florida did all it could to hire Lane Kiffin. They tried to hire him. They offered him the job. What I did learn a little bit more was the Florida hierarchy, not just Strickland, got really annoyed when he wouldn't call him back. Got really annoyed when they didn't hear back from him. At the end of the day, at some point you have to have pride. This ain't Furman. This is the University of Florida. And the University of Florida can't get you to call him back. Shame on Lane Kiffin for not doing that. I don't believe Florida's the heavy. I believe Lane Kiffin. And again, you take whatever job you want. But as far as him going to Florida, it wasn't Strickland's fault, no matter how much he got beat up. It wasn't the school's fault. They offered him the job he wanted at the price he wanted, with the NIL he wanted, with the GM he wanted, and he didn't take the job. That's not on them. That's on the guy that chose not to take the job. As for the hire, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Sumrall would not have been my choice, even without Lane Kiffin. I wanted an offensive-minded guy who was a sitting P4 coach. I said that all along. I would have preferred Brom, Dillingham, even Fish, one of these sitting P4 guys. I wonder, and I don't know this answer because they're not going to tell us this. I tried to find this out. Scott Strickland said at one point they talked to 12 people. We reached out to some who weren't interested for whatever reason. I'm going to guess that Brom, who grew up in his hometown and is at alma mater, and Dillingham, who grew up in his hometown. Those guys aren't just from Louisville and Arizona State. They're from Louisville and Phoenix. And I'm going to guess, and I don't know this, I'm not going to guess that Jed Fish is one because I'm going to guess he would have taken the job. Okay, but I'm going to guess those other 2 guys are 2 of the ones they reached out. So this is not the coach I would have hired. I would have, even without Kiffin, it's not the guy I would have hired. But I think they did everything within their power, I really believe that, to get Lane Kiffin to take the job. If he didn't like the vibe, then that's his choice. But they did everything they could to get Lane Kiffin. And I can tell you they're in lockstep. I can tell you the Board of Trustees, the athletic director, interim President Landry stayed out of it, from what I'm told, but the Board of Trustees were involved in it. The big boosters, Hathcock and Condren, all saw this thing the same way. And I think they feel like, you know what, we're in this together. We did it together the right way. I think Florida did all they could to hire. I really believe that, Hayes. I think they did all they could to hire Lane Kiffin. Lane didn't want the job.
Yeah, I mean, I think it came down to how Strickland handled the initial conversations. I mean, and this is the analogy I would make. If you're a radio legend in Jacksonville, let's say you were ready to maybe leave and go to a bigger market. So New York wants Frank Frangie and LA wants Frank Frangie. And New York is saying, well, we want you, but you're going to have a program director that's going to micromanage every segment that you want to do. Where in LA, they're like, we just want you to come do the Frangie Show. Even if New York then says, after you tell them you don't like that, well, that's fine. You do it your way then. You're probably still a little leery of, are they really going to let me be as free with my show as I want it to be, where I know in LA they will. So I do think that it was botched. And now, again, it's great that if they're, all on the same page and, wonderful. But I do think the initial conversation is what derailed it and what ultimately led Lane Kiffin to being like, I can't trust the guy. Yeah. He may be saying now, well, okay, you run it the way you want. But if he had his idea, if he had enough conviction in the idea to broach it to Lane Kiffin so early on in the process, then obviously it's something that he strongly feels. So, I guess what I'm saying is, should Lane Kiffin have called them back? Yeah, you need to be respectful in a process. Right. But I can understand why Lane Kiffin was like, well, I'm not going there. Their leadership, particularly the athletic director, is clueless.
I agree with everything you said until you said that. I don't believe he thought clueless. I believe he thought the first thing you said. There's going to be more rules in place there than if I go to L.A. I think your analogy is a good one. I don't disagree with any of that. But Scott Strickland did, and by the way, he's not the only one there that believed in that GM plan. The GM plan that they announced yesterday would not have been announced if his trustees and his president and his boosters didn't all believe in it too. So collectively, this is what Florida wanted to pitch. I can tell you that. When Kiffin pushed back, they got together again collectively and said, listen, do we want this guy bad enough to say let him bring whatever his – and they said, yes, we do. And went back to him and said, you know what? You made a fair point, Lane. We want you badly enough that if you think the best way for you to do is that. No, I don't disagree with you. If LSU from the get-go said do it your way, and I don't disagree with that at all. But my point is, and your analogy is a good one, but I think Florida did all. They had to tell Lane Kiffin, this is how we think it should be done, and he says, no, I'd rather you do it this way, and they go back to, you know what, you're the coach, you win. At least that's what I'm told happened, and he did. Now, so again, I'm not faulting Kiffin. It's his right to go wherever he wants to go. But my point is the way Strickland particularly, but Florida's gotten beat up over this, I disagree with. I think to your point, to the point I thought for a while, if they just kind of went through the motions, didn't really want him, you know what I mean? It didn't really we offered him, but then that's a different conversation. In my opinion, I think they did all they could to get the guy. So I believe that, and I think they tried to get him. Having said that, I'm as excited about the guy last. He's still not the guy I would have hired. I still would have hired a sitting Power 4 coach who's had to do Power 4 things and has been on the offensive side of the ball. I still would have. But I kind of liked the guy last night. Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch it. You probably watched it. We couldn't watch it live.
Yeah, I didn't watch it live. I was like you. I watched it.
But I watched the whole thing.
Oh, sure.
And I kind of watched it. It was kind of, if he's our coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy now. So you hope he's great.
Yeah, and I have no idea if he's a good coach. But I think he's kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
Is that, Billy Napier was never a cool guy. I was hoping he was a good coach. Dan Mullen acted cool, but I didn't think he really was a cool guy.
Yeah.
He just, hey, look how cool I am, guy.
Right.
So anyway, it'll be fun. All right, how to get that out? That's the 10-10 take. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Tom Coughlin here. Join 1010XL for the J-Fund Radiothon on December 3rd. Every year I'm blown away by your generosity, and I'm asking for your help again.
The drive to the J-Fund Radiothon is driven by the Nimnicht family of dealerships.
I'm Julie Harrell.
I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1010XL is making spirits bright with our holiday gift guide, stuffed with great gift ideas from local businesses like Chicken Salad Chick, Metro Diner, and Gotham City Lemon. Start shopping and saving at 1010XL.com.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, folks, it's Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter, Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Jacksonville is my hometown and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, but go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Pickett here with a game winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. I've scouted them all. And this Jacksonville crew's the real deal.
I'm Brendan, owner of Checkmate Coatings. We transform pool decks, driveways, and patios with pro precision.
Score big at CheckmateCoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville, oysters, and seafood, period. Blue Crab Crab House, open every day except for Monday off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, let's start with Sunday's massive game against the Colts. Stopping Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has run for 1,282 yards this season, averages 5.7 yards a carry, 15 touchdowns on the ground, has 2 more touchdowns as a receiver. What will be the key in slowing down Jonathan Taylor?
Well, that certainly is the key to the game. It certainly really is. He's a guy that certainly is very good. I think number one, obviously, it's going to sound crazy, but I think if you can rush the passer and get Daniel Jones off his spot, then you can't. I think they throw to set up the run a little bit. I think if you get him off the spot, then you can make it harder. You're in a lot of 3rd and longs or 2nd and longs. So I think winning first down, I think you're not going to stop Jonathan Taylor. He's really good. But I think winning first down, get Jones off his spot, wreak a little havoc in the passing game, because the Jags have been rushing the passer so well of late that I think if you can do that, it's harder to run on 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 8. So win first down. Do that by getting Daniel off his spot. I think that's a big key.
Let's get to around the NFL. Week 13 wrapped last night with New England routing the New York Giants 33-15. The Patriots are 11-2 and the current top seed in the AFC.
They're really good. I mean, and again, they didn't play a very good team last night. They're really good.
The score wasn't even that. I mean, the game wasn't as close as the score might have been.
Yeah,
it was over early.
They had 30 burger in the first half.
Yeah.
They're really good. I mean, this is a really legitimately good team. They're as good as advertised. Yeah, I will tell you, I am overwhelmingly impressed by the New England Patriots.
Without a doubt. Lions receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown is looking doubtful for Thursday night's game against Dallas, as he is coming off an ankle injury sustained on Thanksgiving. He did not practice today. Boy, that would be a big loss for Detroit if they don't have him against the Cowboys.
Yeah, they have a good team. They have a clunky season. Part of it is it's a really good division with 2 of the best teams in the NFL in their division with them. He's their explosive receiver, and you got to have that.
Without a doubt. Let's get it to college football. The playoff rankings come out tonight. Where will Miami be?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? I agree, JJ. I agree with what you've been saying. I think they're going to be out, and it's just, yeah.
Knowing the committee, they'll probably somehow drop us even further. Who knows?
But it's a weird dynamic because Miami's a perfect example of why you need more teams in it. Because of course they're one of the best teams, but they had the Louisville loss was a bad loss. SMU wasn't a bad loss. It was weird the way they lost it. They beat Notre Dame head-to-head, but Notre Dame's losses are good losses. So it's a weird dynamic. It really is. And I hate that Miami's not going to be in it because you'll never convince me they're not one of the 12 teams that could win this thing. You'll never convince me that. But the way this weird thing's playing out, I don't think they're in.
Hard to argue. Georgia, Alabama will meet for the SEC title on Saturday. Are you excited about the game?
Yeah, it's what's funny is where you're going with the question is exactly right. I can see the look on your face. Not like when it mattered the way it did, and I wanted to expand it. They're going to have to figure that part out. They're going to have to figure out the part that A&M is probably thrilled they're not in the game. You realize that? A&M is probably thrilled that they're still going to be a top 4 seed perhaps, and they're not in the game. And I don't know how they figure it out. So I'm excited about the game. Anytime Alabama, Georgia, I'm excited about the game. But where you're going with the question is correct. Not like I was 4 years ago. That's what you're asking. And it's lost its luster. Now, Georgia puts 35-7 on them. Is Alabama out? That's the importance of the game is Alabama's got to be careful. You know, Alabama can get, with Miami and Notre Dame both believing they should be in and having a good argument. Alabama's got to be careful not to get run ruled here. That's what they have to be careful of.
Without a doubt, John Summerall hires, according to reports, Kentucky defensive coordinator Brad White to be Florida's defensive coordinator. Summerall and White worked together at Kentucky. Brad White, obviously defensive coordinator under Mark Stoops. What do you think of the move?
Very good coach. Very good hire. He's a good coach. B, he's been under a really good, because everything what about Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops is an awfully good defensive coach.
Great defensive mind.
And he's had 6-7 years now of defending SEC defenses. That's what really jumped off the page for me. He's watched Mike Bobo call plays. He's watched Josh Heupel call plays. He's watched Kalen DeBoer now. He's played against Texas A&M. I love the fact that they hired a guy that is a good coach. Again, that was my concern. I think Summerall might be great. I wanted a Power 4 guy that had to do Power 4 things. I'm not going to change that all of a sudden because that's not who they hired. Well, this guy has done it. This has been a very good Power 4 defensive coordinator who knows what the other offense is. He knows Josh Heupel's tempo. He knows what I love. What about you? I love the hire.
I thought it was fantastic for all the reasons that you point out. And again, Kentucky's defense has always shown up. I mean, they are outstanding. I know this year, maybe it wasn't as strong as.
But that's because the offense didn't keep up.
And
that's part of it.
Again, Kentucky's going to lose the portal. That was going to be hard for Kentucky to never have dibs in where the sport went. But I mean, you think of some of the Kentucky defensive gems that they've put up against the Gators in recent years. Yeah, I think to your point, Brad White knows what to expect, and I think he's a huge upgrade over what Napier had, a defensive coordinator, particularly in year one when he had Austin Armstrong. If asked, should Florida State accept a bowl bid at 5-7?
Yes. I get the question, but I don't think you should ever pass up 15 days of practice, keeping your team together, keeping your guys from leaving in the portal because they're sitting around doing nothing. Instead, they're practicing with their teammates. So the answer is yes.
And why pass up an opportunity to go 5-8?
Yeah.
Well done.
And I thought he was going to be serious. For a minute, he baited me. I came right with you.
Right.
JJ, I'm nodding as you're answering until before, without knowing where you were headed there.
Well done. 2 points for JJ. Kentucky moves fast in regards to firing Mark Stoops. They have hired Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein.
I think I told you yesterday that everybody on the inside knew that was coming. I even asked you yesterday, had it happened yet, I think. I said, is Will Stein the Kentucky coach yet? You said, no word yet. I said, well, he will be by tonight. And because everybody on the inside of the college football world knew where that was headed. And he'll do a good job. For people that don't know, he's the offensive coordinator at Oregon. He's from Kentucky. Both his parents went to Kentucky. He went to Louisville, but he's as bluegrass as they come, so it's a great hire.
Absolutely. In the Lane Kiffin saga, Ole Miss will allow Charlie Weiss Jr. to continue as offensive coordinator in the playoff run, despite Weiss leaving the Rebels with Kiffin to go to LSU. So no more Lane Kiffin in Oxford.
Right.
But Ole Miss finally realized, hey, we actually need somebody that could manage the offense. So Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to go back for a smidge to lead the Rebels offense.
I'm glad they're doing that. I am really glad they're doing that. You know what? It's still more about your players than it is anything else. And I like the fact that I really do, Hayes. I like the fact that they made it about the players here. That's way more important than egos and let's go try and win a championship. I hope they win the damn thing. I really do. So I'm glad that happened.
Let's get to college basketball. The Gators are a sizable underdog tonight at Duke, the defending national champions, an 8.5-point dog. Does Florida have a chance in Cameron?
We always have a chance. Florida's got a good team, but I don't think they're going to win. I told you in the offseason, like 6-8 months ago, I worried that they overscheduled. You and I had that conversation. It's going to be hard. I think they're 5-3 after tonight, and with UConn in the Garden next Tuesday. So that game worries me. I hope they didn't over. Now, if you survive all this, you're more ready for that SEC schedule. But I think it's tough sledding for the Gators tonight.
All right, we will get you out with our musical nugget of the day. Back this week in 1972, Peaceful Easy Feeling is released, the third single from the Eagles' debut album. Happy 53rd anniversary to a rock classic.
One of my 3 or 4 favorite songs ever. It really one of my at the lowest one of my 3 or 4 favorite songs ever. Great song. This song to me shows the example of the smoothest voice in the rock era in Glenn Frey. I thought he had the smoothest rock era voice ever. And I still can't believe he's gone. The great Glenn Frey. Well done, as always.
Thank you.
We'll talk some college football when we come back. We're live here at Firehouse. Boy, it's been great seeing Brenton Strange. Great having him on the air today, and what a good dude, and a lot of fun here. People come celebrating the Jacksonville Jaguars here at Firehouse Subs in Julington Creek. Back after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
A great drive takes more than a set of wheels.
Fully loaded, I think is the term.
Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Just one thing. Yeah, don't push any of the buttons on that car.
On 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Tom Coughlin here. Join 1010XL for the J-Fund Radiothon on December 3rd. Every year I'm blown away by your generosity, and I'm asking for your help again.
The drive to the J-Fund Radiothon is driven by the Nimnicht family of dealerships.
Frank Frangie here from my bank, South State Bank. South State has been committed to delivering world-class customer service that businesses like yours and mine can count on. From personalized support to cutting-edge banking solutions, South State Bank has blended the trusted traditions we all value with the innovation you need for tomorrow. Whether you're managing cash flow or investing in growth, South State Bank is here to help you move forward. Visit southstatebank.com or visit your local branch today. That's South State, member FDIC.
You like winning? This is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminex. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminex knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminex. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminex does. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This holiday season, if you'd like to give the gift of wellness, get a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. With the purchase of a $75 gift card or more, guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes the perfect gift for everyone. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
Hey, Hicken here. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season. The best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. Boy, talk about all the great features. Prize Picks now has early payout. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Hey, my fantasy football season's cooked, but with Prize Picks, we don't have to wait until next year's draft. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week. Pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections every week. No draft required. Here's what you do. Download that Prize Picks app today. It's so easy. Use code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineup after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Small Business Development Center at UNF. It's the biggest game of the season tonight for Gators Hoops as they'll take on the Duke Blue Devils. The 15th-ranked Gators sit at 5-2 as the 4th-ranked Blue Devils are undefeated at 8-0. The game is set to tip off at 7:30, airing live on 1010 a.m. and will also be televised on ESPN. It's 74 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
I got Carline dropping Peaceful Easy Feeling. I got La Silva dropping Cherry Bomb. Are you kidding me, Tom? You talk about it. Is that a good day? How good is that? Is my question for you, huh? All right. Great to see Brendan Strange. What a good guy Brendan Strange is. By the way,
he's one of the best players on the team.
And he's one of the best players on the team. Jeff Lagerman swears by it. He's one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, he really believes that. So, hey, a couple college things. Jeff Dantzler comes up in a minute. I told you this 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Remember Marcus Stokes? The Nice quarterback was headed to Florida, made a comment, used a word when he was rapping to a song. Didn't mean to. They got him in all kind of trouble, cost him his scholarships, wound up at West Florida, okay? Well, now he just said he's going to the portal from West Florida. He's a really good player. I'm telling you, you're going to look up, and he's going to be Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, he's that kind of good. I believe in all my heart. He's going to be Fernando Mendoza. And this year, the former Nice quarterback, Marcus Stokes, playing for West Florida, threw 40 touchdowns.
Wow.
Threw for 3,600 yards and 40 touchdowns. I'm telling you, teams are going to be all over him, and I wouldn't mind my team being all over him.
How do you think Summerall will handle the quarterbacks?
Well, I think, number one, he's been very portal-centric. He's had to be, to his point. Here's what I think. My guess is DJ Lagway's going to be there because he's got a bunch of money, and I heard he had a 2-year deal for a bunch of money, and I think he'll be there. And DJ Lagway's a good person, a hard worker, a good representative. He deserves a chance to try and win the job. I believe that. I believe in who he is. I believe in how he's handled himself marvelously, no matter how badly things have gone. He's never put blame on anybody else. He showed up. He shows up for pressers. He shows up for all his collective stuff. DJ Lagway is as good as it gets in representing the University of Florida. I don't think he's a very good player. At the college level, I don't think he's a particularly good college football player. So I think he gets a chance. But it would not surprise me if at the end of spring, and this isn't me commenting on how John Summerall will do it. It's just telling me what I think, no matter who the coach would have been. My gut is, Hayes, that he probably sees the writing on the wall. I think a guy like and I'm saying Marcus Stokes just because I just saw it on Twitter that he's in the portal. But I did mention him to you, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I mean, offline, I told you about, I wonder if someone's going to go get him. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. I told Denny that when he had him. I'm sorry he ran into all the trouble that he ran into. And I think, I want to say it was the same year that nobody cared about the fact that that he wasn't going to be at Florida because Lagway was coming. What I think the years, it may have been or was it Rashada? It was one of them. It was somebody. I might have gotten the years. It might have been Jaden Rashada, but something like that. But anyway, so back to your point, I think they're going to play a good quarterback. And obviously, if it's not DJ Lagway, and my guess is it won't be. I think he deserves a chance, but my guess is it won't be. It's got to be a portal guy, right? I think it's going to be.
Do you still hold out hope that Cade Bell might be the OC?
I think Cade Bell will be in it. I would not be surprised if Buster Faulkner is the leading candidate from what my connections tell me. I think Buster Faulkner is really highly regarded. He is the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator. He's a former Valdosta State quarterback that threw it all over the place there. When I saw it, I wasn't as excited because Georgia Tech runs it so much with the quarterback, but that's because Haynes King is a very good running quarterback. I would think if you asked me right now, I would tell you that Buster Faulkner, I believe, is the leading candidate. And if I was betting my money, I would bet the Buster Faulkner, the current Georgia Tech OC, will be the Florida OC. But I think Cade Bell will be in it. I think he will be prominently regarded. I think Joey Hazel, who is the I think I'm saying his name right, the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, will be in it. I think the guy that I really hope would be in it is Neil Brown, but I think he might get the North Texas job. From what as you know, I stay pretty connected with all that. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So I think Neil Brown's going to get the North Texas job. That's my opinion. And so my guess would be Buster. So I gave you a long answer to a short question. I think Cade Bell is in it, and I'd love it to be Cade Bell because I think he's probably going to bring Mason Heinzel with him.
And that's where I was going. Because then it creates, then you almost have to tell Lagway, hey, we're canceling the contract, and
Mason might be
on.
Heinzel. I hope I'm saying his name right. He might be for people you talk to, he might be a top 10 draft pick. I mean, that's the word. Now, he's only a freshman.
Right.
But I will tell you, if you talk to insiders, the word is this kid, he might be a top 10 draft pick.
Well, he's so coveted because you've got a minimum of 2 years of
that's correct.
Before he can enter the draft.
Yeah, that's correct. But I'm just telling you the buzz is that he might be a top 10 guy. And I can also tell you the buzz is he's hearing from a lot of schools. And a lot of people believe he's only coming if Cade comes. Remember, nobody wanted him. He's from small town, whatever, Ohio. Nobody recruited him. Cade went and saw him. Cade went and told Narduzzi, this is our guy. And Narduzzi trusted him. He trusted his offensive coordinator. Again, he turned the offense over to Cade. Okay, so, in my mind, I think I'd love to see it be Cade. But I think Faulkner's really – I think those two are in play.
If it's Faulkner, does that help Lagway since maybe there's a little bit more of a mobility there, assuming Lagway can get – I think part of why we didn't see Lagway's athleticism is because of the injuries.
Yeah, I do too. I do.
Does that –
it's a great question. It makes sense, doesn't it? I don't want to misrepresent.
I mean, I think Haynes King is way better.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to misrepresent this, Hayes, as if I know all the inner workings of how Buster Faulkner will
No, what I'm asking you is that and a fan.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. If he just had a big physical quarterback that could really run it, and now he gets Lagway, he certainly just had experience doing it. It makes all the sense in the world. So we'll see. But keep an eye on Buster Faulkner for that job would be what I would tell you.
Another, sensational hire.
If it's Buster Faulkner or Cade.
I mean, he's no Billy Napier.
If it's what's the tall guy's name? Ryan, whatever. Ryan, the tall guy that never called plays before, except he's called like 12 plays in his life.
O'Hara?
Yeah, him. Okay, he's the tall guy. He's a big tall guy, right? Any big tall guy? Okay, let's get him back. Let's get the tall guy back. Okay, it's called like 12 plays in his life. The Cade Bell and Buster Faulkner, I would think are two of the leading candidates, and I'd be very happy with either one. Let's take a break. Jeff Dantzler joins me after this to talk SEC football. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get hit by the man in the back, Tommy Mack.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads.
Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
There's no doubt that we were in good hands when our son's shoulder and hip issues were diagnosed quickly by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what your orthopedic issue is, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take a look. You'll be glad you did.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
With the holidays right around the corner, and it's time to get ready for family and friends. What better way to do it than with Zero Res? Carpets, air ducts, hardwood, LVP, tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, and stone. Zero Res, they can handle it all. Call right now, 287-5727, or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them you want the 1010XL special and get 20% off all hard surface cleaning, tile and grout, hardwood, and LVP. Spots are filling up fast, so don't wait. Happy holidays from all of us at Zero Res.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's OKE farm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval! Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Time now for the SEC update with Jeff Dantzler from the Bulldog Radio Network and the Superstations. Presented by Underwood Jewelers. Here's Frank and Jeff.
All right, my buddy Jeff Dantzler joins us now as we talk SEC football. All right, Jeff, another SEC championship game. Got to be boring by now, right? Are you tired of them? Do you change your seats around? All you do is go to them every year, right?
It really is amazing. This is 8 times in 9 years now for Kirby, and I think about all the records and everything that he's done. I think that's one, especially not having the divisions anymore, that's going to be very hard to break moving forward.
There's no question. There's no question about it. All right, I got a bunch of SEC stuff I want to get to, all the coaching changes. I want your thoughts on all the moves. But before I get to that, let's start with the game. Alabama is the one team that's been the kryptonite for Kirby Smart. Why is that? Now, one of it's because Alabama's good, right? They've been always good. But that's the one hurdle Kirby Smart hasn't gotten over as much as he would have liked to. Why is that, Jeff?
Well, I do like to remind everybody, we did win one really big one against them for the national title. And,
no question.
And obviously the one in Atlanta was a heartbreaker. We never trailed until the last play of the game, and then the next year in the SEC championship. The crazy thing about it is, Frank, all the games have been so insanely close. I mean, they're all 3- and 4-point games, and I think in the end it's just come down to Bama's made a couple more plays, and I anticipate Saturday being, something like 23-21 all over again.
Yeah, how good do you think – we've talked about Georgia a lot. How good do you think Bama is? I think they're good. I don't think they're as good as Georgia. I think they're good. But you know how I feel about Georgia. I think Georgia's going to win the national title. But I think Bama's one of the top 6 teams maybe, Jeff, 6 or 7. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. The thing with Alabama, they fly around. Their defense is really good. And when you look at that offense, right, they don't run the ball like they did when they had Eddie Lacy and Trent Richardson and Mark Ingram. But I think Ty Simpson is dynamite. And those receivers, I don't know what was going on with Ryan Williams not playing much last Saturday, but that receiving core is just tremendous. They are loaded with playmakers. And I think one of the deals, too, when you look at this game, both Simpson and Gunnar Stockton have had great years, and they can both make a lot of plays with their legs. I mean, I thought in the Iron Bowl that the little 4th down play that Simpson had on the long drive that put him ahead was one of the critical plays in the game. And, of course, it's Alabama, so there were 2 third-down penalties that gave them first downs on that drive.
Hey, a couple of questions. I got a buddy, by the way. I got a buddy that's a diehard Tennessee fan that is convinced until he dies, Alabama will always get every call, just so you know that. So you're not alone there. He's I'm not kidding. He's totally convinced it's always going to happen for the rest of his life. There's a point you've made often, Jeff, and that is the SEC championship game. All these championship games are almost a hindrance now because of the playoff, because of the playoff tournament, if you will. Having said that, I don't want to say how important is this game. That's a dumb question. Of course, you have a chance to win the Southeastern Conference, and winning the Southeastern Conference means everything. I get that. So how important is – I'm phrasing the question the wrong way. But the fact that both teams are in either way, I think Alabama's in either way. Georgia obviously is. Does it lose luster? Is the game less exciting, less important to fans? How do you see that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the fact that you're even bringing up if you want to go or not is proof positive that they're obsolete now. And honestly, I was so happy when we beat Tech on Friday. If Texas A&M would have won, we had a couple of buddies. We were going to have a big tailgate and watch A&M and Bama beat the hell out of each other on Saturday. I'd have been just fine with that. Now, once you're in it, it's good. But let's face it, you're also in a spot. Let's say A&M had won and Georgia still got a bye. You're talking about potentially playing 15 games as opposed to if you lose in this thing, playing 17 games. That's an enormous difference. Yeah. So I just think they're obsolete. You got to come out with a way to try and balance these things out. And I just know for me, being a lifelong psycho Georgia fan, I was so nervous last Friday. I know in the next game when Georgia's in the playoffs, how nervous I'm going to be. And, yeah, you're going to want to win this one, but it doesn't have the same amount of angst. Whereas now if you look at this, if this was just 2 or 3 years ago, we'd have been sitting there praying for A&M to lose as a Georgia fan and hoping you get in, and that's the path to the playoff. But with the playoff so big, the game just doesn't mean that much anymore.
Yeah, it sure feels that way. All right, let me get to – a lot of guys have new coaches, so I want you to assess I want you to suss them all for me. I'm going to go through the list if you don't mind. Let's start with the big one. Lane Kiffin went to LSU. Florida people thought he was going to go there. I, at one point, thought he was going to go there. He lands at LSU. It was clunky a little bit. He barely got out of Ole Miss with people shooting him birds and yelling at him and throwing stuff at him. It was a weird deal. He's not going to coach him in the playoffs now. What do you make of the whole exercise, and what do you make of Lane Kiffin to LSU?
I think Lane Kiffin looks pretty bad in all this. I think it'll all settle out. Listen, the LSU job, as we've talked about it, Ed Orgeron and Les Miles won national championships there. It's a golden job. At the same time, though, to me, he was a better fit at Florida than at LSU.
I think the Florida people felt that way, too. Let's get to Florida. John Sumrall, defensive guy. I said this earlier in the program. I watched him last night. I thought he did a great job in the presser. He's going to be a fun, exciting guy. But I would have hired a power – if it would have been me, an offensive guy, and probably a guy with some Power 4 head coaching experience. What do you think about John Summerall to Florida?
I think he's a very good coach. And, Frank, this is kind of the opposite of what we were thinking was going to happen a couple of weeks ago. I think the big thing with him in Florida is just to get out there and embrace those roots. And, including wearing a blue and an orange golf shirt when the Gators are playing.
That'd be nice.
And we've talked about this a million times, going back to when Spurrier was playing, to John Reeves. I mean, I think about the quarterbacks in the 80s, Wayne Peace and Kerwin Bell, to Danny Werfel and Tim Tebow. Florida football is putting that ball in the air. So if I'm John Summerall, I'm looking at that history, and I'm thinking, all right, who am I going to get down here to help engineer an offense that our fans are going to love, that is going to bring back the memories of the glory days of Florida football?
All right, having said that, my segue is something I told you off air. I'll tell our listeners on air. I've been teasing this a little bit too. I hear that Buster Faulkner, the Georgia Tech offensive coordinator, is probably the leading candidate to be the offensive coordinator. It's not done yet. There's some other good candidates, I'm told, but I'm told he is highly regarded on that list. I know you've mentioned him to me 2 or 3 times. For the sake of our listeners, our Gator fans here, in the event that it happens, tell us more about Buster Faulkner, what you think of him.
Really, really good, excellent young coach. He was the offensive coordinator at Southern Miss, then came to Georgia as an analyst when Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator for Georgia's 2 national championship teams. And he had a big hand in working with Stetson Bennett. Obviously, you look at Haynes King and what he's done at Tech. This guy's a really, really good coach. I mean, if I'm Florida, I'd jump all over him right now. The big thing for me, though, I would think, Frank, and wouldn't you, the way the first big dominoes have fallen, I've got to think if I'm Tulane or South Florida, that's got to be one of my first calls. So I think Florida's biggest competition right now is going to be whether he grabs a head job at one of those mid-major schools.
Yeah, great point. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Speaking of mid-major schools, Alex Golesh leaves one. He leaves USF to go to Auburn. How do you think he'll do?
I have no idea. I mean, this is the 3rd coach since Gus Malzahn at Auburn. Yeah. I mean, that Saban and now the Kirby effect. Yeah. It is unbelievable. And I mean, Frank, you think about it, and I know there's been an interim, but just how many coaches Florida's had since Urban Meyer? I mean, Kirby's beaten four different Florida coaches, 4 different Auburn coaches. I mean, it really is unbelievable, and I get it. Everybody's chasing it year after year. The big key to me, and you just assume all these guys are good coaches or they wouldn't be on the list, it's how good a fit are you? Yeah. Brian Kelly's a good coach. He was a terrible fit at LSU.
Great call. Great call. That's exactly right. All right, the other 3 are Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas, Will Stein to Kentucky, Pete Golding is going to stay at Ole Miss. Do any of those 3 jump off the page? Anything? Do you think anything about any of those 3? Anything drive you there?
I don't know if anything really would be worrisome. I think Golding is going to be a good fit at Ole Miss and can kind of keep it going. Now you've got an X factor out there. What's going to happen with Bobby Petrino if Buster Faulkner were to get a head job somewhere? If I was John Summerall, that might be a direction I would think about going, although you have to be worried that he'd try and stab you in the back to get your job. But the guy is, for all of his faults and ills, he's a very good play caller. It'll be very interesting to see where he resurfaces.
All right, Jeff, final thing for you today. As we look at the poll tonight when it comes out, any surprises do you expect? Let me get off the SEC for a second. Do you think Miami gets left out? Because I think Miami's pretty good. Does Notre Dame get in automatically, do you think? They seem to. Is Alabama in any danger if they get rolled by Georgia? What are your expectations when that thing comes out tonight?
It seems to me Notre Dame and Alabama always get the benefit of the doubt. I think the huge X factor you got here, and you got to look at the language. Let's say Tulane or North Texas, whoever wins the American, if James Madison wins the Sun Belt, Duke is 7-5. If they win the ACC, they could be ranked behind those 2 conference champs. And the language is, to my understanding, it's a top 5 conference champion. Could it work out where the ACC doesn't get somebody in? And again, for their tiebreaker, the fact that like Tech went 9-3, Miami's got a great team at 10-2, same conference records, but they're not in, and Duke is at 7-5. That is a big problem and a huge oversight by the ACC front office. So Greg Sankey's the best commissioner in sports. Something like that would never happen in the SEC. Even if you had to change the rules in the middle of the year, like you're not going to get. Let's just say Bama was in it and Texas was 11-1 and Vandy was 8-4, but the conference records are the same. You think Vandy would be in over Texas at this point? Come on.
And not a chance in the world. You're exactly right. Jeff Damsler does a great job talking college football, SEC football. We'll do it again next week. Jeff, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Love you, my friend. Congrats to the Jags. You guys keep it rolling, man.
All right, man. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Jag right now. You're exactly right. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Frank.
All right. Speaking of NFL, we'll take a break. We got a little rewind coming. That's next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with WonderWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WonderWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WonderWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WonderWorld, and to top it off, WonderWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WonderWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold & Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harold & Harold make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold & Harold and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
To get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Go see for Hard Rock Bet, where there's always something happening and so many ways to bet it. Who's going to score a touchdown? First and second half lines and totals. Where's the best play on an underdog? Follow the money on the Hard Rock Bet app. Great pro picks, and now we're down to Championship Saturday before the playoffs in college. Don't miss out. Download the Hard Rock Bet app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, today on the program, we've been live here at Firehouse Subs in Juleston Creek, having a wonderful time. Brenton Strange came by. We sure appreciate that. He signed some autographs and met a lot of fantastic Jaguar fans, and he sat with us for about 10 minutes to talk all about the Jaguar success. Man, I'm getting excited already about it. I don't want to peek too early about the Colts and the Jags, so we certainly talked about that today. Bucky Brooks came by to talk by phone to talk about Jags as well and how well they're playing. We talked a little bit about the John Sumrall to Florida, Brad White being his defensive coordinator, it looks like. Jeff Dantzler came on to talk SEC football with us, and that's where we've been in the program today.
All right, it is time for the NFL Rewind. JJ, let's start things off, please, in Indianapolis.
Shotgun for Stroud. Fake it, and then give it to Collins. Looking to turn it upfield. He will for the touchdown!
Texans receiver Nico Collins had 98 receiving yards and ran for a touchdown as the Texans continued their surge back into contention. Houston is 7-5, still on the outside looking in. Meanwhile, the Colts have dropped to 8-4, losing 3 of their last 4, and are the AFC's current 6th seed.
You guys both called that one. I did not see that one coming, but all of a sudden, the air's coming out of the balloon a little bit for Indianapolis, which is why for them, this is a gigantic game. Because if you lose 4 out of 5, and another,
they might miss the playoffs.
Yeah, they could miss the playoffs
as being the 1 seed, to start November.
And not only that, Hayes, but you talk about the air coming out of it. The air coming out of a season almost feel like the Jags 2 years ago when you're 8-3 and sitting on top of the world, then the air never went back in it. It would almost feel like that.
Yeah, the AFC South loves their collapses. We'll see if Indianapolis does what the Titans and Jags have done in recent years. JJ, take us to Charlotte, please.
2 for 2 today is Carolina. On this crucial 4th down, Young, McMillan, got it! Touchdown, Panthers lead!
Panthers quarterback Bryce Young throws 3 touchdowns without a pick as Carolina stuns the LA Rams 31-28. The Rams were -3 in turnover margin. That'll get you beat most Sundays. Carolina improved to 7-6, but still sits outside the playoffs in the NFC. The Rams are now 9-3. They are the NFC's current 2nd seed.
And maybe the Panthers in that conference don't make the playoffs, but what a good season they've had. I'll tell you this, by the way, Ted McMillan.
Oh yeah,
he's as good a rookie as there is in the league.
Yeah,
we saw it game 1. He looked like a man among boys, and it was his first NFL game. I mean, he's a really good player.
Absolutely. We're off to Philly.
Approaching the 5-minute mark, 2nd down and 8. Williams rolling, throwing, open, making the grab, touchdown. Cole Kmet into the end zone.
The road to the Super Bowl in the NFC currently goes through Chicago. The Bears stunned the defending champion Eagles 24-15. Chicago ran for 281 yards to improve to 9-3. Philadelphia dropped to 8-4 and is the current 3 seed.
You know, those 2 new coaches, that Ben Johnson guy and that Liam Cohen guy, were looked at as really good coaches. Well, they've won 17 games between them in their first ever head coaching job. That's pretty good.
Pretty good stuff. Let's head to Baltimore.
Burrow out to his right to the end zone. One hand brought in by Hudson for the touchdown. Tanner Hudson, his 2nd of the year.
The Ravens turned the ball over 5 times as Joe Burrow makes a triumphant return to action in Cincinnati's 32-14 bludgeoning of Baltimore. Burrow threw 2 touchdowns and was not picked off. The Bengals are 4-8, while the Ravens slipped to 6-6. Baltimore is still the current 4 seed as it leads the AFC North. The Steelers have really fallen apart.
Yeah, what I like to do in this program, Hayes, is be insightful. I like to give you opinions that other people wouldn't have thought about. I think I'm a guy that I like to think of myself as ahead of the curve a little bit. So here comes one. They're better with Burrow. Okay.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, I think they're better with Burrow. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not afraid to take chances. I think the Bengals are better with Burrow. That's just where I am on this.
That's quite a take.
Listen. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. But you got to go. You got to go all in. That's what I always think.
That's right. Let's get it to Dallas.
Can they convert here? Prescott looking around in trouble. He flips it to Williams for the touchdown. At the last moment, Javonte was open and waiting for it.
The Cowboys take down Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. The Cowboys were 9 of 16 on third down. Dallas improved to 6-5-1. Still not good enough to be in the NFC playoffs. The Chiefs are in big trouble at 6-6. 2 full games behind 7-seeded Buffalo.
Yeah, they're kind of ordinary, and I didn't think I'd ever say that. Now they're a good ordinary, right? They're not a bad ordinary, but the Chiefs are 6-6. I wouldn't. No matter how it started, I would have never guessed that.
Chiefs are playing for their season Sunday night, hosting Houston.
Yeah,
massive game there. We close things out in Detroit.
Love loads up, going deep. Christian Watson down there. He's got it. Touchdown, Packers.
Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love throws 4 touchdowns without an interception as the Packers get a massive road win, 31-24 over the Lions. The Packers are the current 6th seed with an 8-3-1 record, while the Lions are on the outside at 7-5. Amazing that Detroit and Kansas City both might miss the tournament.
And both in really good divisions. That NFC North is a really good division, Hayes. I mean, who would have thought if the Bears were going to be this, the Packers you knew might be that. The Lions, you're right. The Lions are an awfully good team to be the 3rd best team in their division. Nice job as always. Well done on the rewind. We'll take a break, come back to wrap the program live after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The latest Super Bowl odds, the Los Angeles Rams, coming off a loss to the Carolina Panthers, are the betting favorite to win Super Bowl 60. The Rams are plus 460. They're in a 3-way tie with 9 wins this season in the NFC West. The Seahawks in that group are plus 900 to capture the Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers, a half game behind the Chicago Bears in the NFC North, are plus 900. The Philadelphia Eagles at 8-4 are also plus 900 to win the Super Bowl. The New England Patriots have won 10 straight. They are plus 1100 to capture this year's Super Bowl. And the Buffalo Bills, who are behind them in the AFC East, are also plus 1100.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
The holidays are just around the corner, and so is your entire family.
Babe, the toilet's growling at me again.
Uh-oh, the kitchen sink just turned into Old Faithful. There's no hot water!
Don't let plumbing chaos steal your holiday cheer. Call Duck Duck Rooter today to fix those issues before Aunt Linda blames you for ruining Christmas dinner. Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing pros. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,800 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design get us organized for the holidays. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and so much more. Closets by Design will design a custom storage solution for all of your spaces. Nothing says happy holidays like a home that is peaceful and clutter-free. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before year-end and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Jacksonville, the holidays are right around the corner, and Nimnick Buick GMC is kicking off the season with prices that are better than ever. Are you looking for a dealership that actually makes car buying easy? Well, let me tell you why Nimnick Buick GMC is the place to shop. At Nimnick, you'll find unbeatable holiday savings, a huge selection of Buicks and GMCs, plus flexible financing that fits your budget. Whether you're looking for a new SUV, a work-ready truck, or certified pre-owned, they've got you covered, backed by trusted service and transparent deals. Plus, the biggest sale of the year is coming. Nimnick's bigger than ever Black Friday event. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So don't wait. Start your shopping early at NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit their showroom right off of Phillips Highway today. You want a great product? You want to head to Nimnick. You want people to treat you right? You want Nimnick. Who does it better than anybody? Nobody but Nimnick. Nimnick. We are professional-grade GMC.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass, and he told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
In Northeast Florida, power outages are unavoidable, but losing comfort, security, and peace of mind doesn't have to be. With a Generac home standby generator from American Electrical Contractors, your power comes back on automatically the moment an outage begins. As Jacksonville's leading and one of the longest-running Generac dealers, American Electrical Contracting has the experience you deserve. Be prepared. Protect your home and family. Protect your business. Generac standby generators from American Electrical Contractors. Call 737-7770 or online at american-electrical.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We sure thank our friends in the Nimnick family dealership. Nimnick Chevrolet's on Cassett. Nimnick Buick GMC. Is on Phillips Highway, the best place to buy cars. Talked to my buddy Billy Nimnick a while today. And Lauren Nimnick Dozier lives around here. I told her to come by here. I tried to goad her into coming by, but she didn't do it. But she's a great friend, and the Nimnick family dealerships, they do a wonderful job. They really do. If you want to buy a car around here, I've been doing it since 1982. You want someone you can trust, buy a car from the folks at Nimnick. Did you see, by the way, the details of the salary for Sumrall?
Yeah, it's very favorable compared to the Napier contract.
It's $7.45 million, but the incentives. How about this? To win the SEC title, to win an SEC championship game, $1.5 million.
It's worth it.
So all of a sudden it goes to $9 million. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never seen that. I've never seen this before. To appear in a first-round playoff game, $1.25 million. To appear in the quarterfinal, $2 million. To appear in the title game, have you seen this? Mm-hmm. $3 million, and to win the national championship, $5 million. So he's making $7.45. If he wins the national championship, there's another $7 million. So he's got a $14 million salary. If he wins, I've never seen something like that before. It's cool.
Yeah, it is,
and it makes sense.
What's the incentive if he beats Kentucky? Because the previous staff couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's a $35.
Okay, good. I'm glad that's in there.
And an Outback gift certificate.
Yeah, those
for
are
a bloomin' onion.
Those are fantastic incentives for Sumrall, and hopefully he hits all of them. Obviously, I do think the contract is. I'll give Strickland credit for the contract in terms of if it doesn't go well. Not that it'll matter. Strickland will be gone too, but at least for the next AD, if it doesn't go well. The buyout is, it's basically non-existent. I think they owe him, 70% of what's left. So and there's mitigation in it. So if Sumrall were to get another job that paid him $1.5 million, maybe to be a defensive coordinator somewhere, then that money comes off the buyout too. So if Florida does have to get out from under this contract, it's not nearly as damaging financially as the Napier and the McElwain and all the ones that they've had.
Did you hear Spurrier on Pat Dooley's show?
Oh, he's the best.
He goes, well, FSU, they got some issues up there. They got a coach you can't get rid of because they don't have enough money to let it go. So that's where they're at. I mean,
so great.
I mean, we all know that's true.
Yeah.
But just hearing the ball coach say,
at least we had enough money to get rid of our guy.
Only Spurrier.
Yeah.
Only Spurrier.
And then he took a huge shot at Napier, which made me chuckle.
Yeah. What did he say?
He was talking about scared money don't make money.
Yeah,
He's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
He's like, this is 11 guys against 11 guys. Well, money's got nothing to do with it.
I can't wait to talk more about Jaguars Colts as we get closer and closer to it. That game's got my blood boiling already.
Big day tomorrow. We'll start to get the first injury report. Obviously, we'll get into the locker room.
Yeah,
and,
hope
Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence will talk tomorrow. So big day in Jacksonville tomorrow.
Trayvon's back.
Yeah.
Listen.
And Armstead.
Armstead, Walker Little is he? I mean, because that could really shake up the offensive front. So
and hopefully Murray is able to come back this week.
Great. He was close. He was close. Florida Duke tonight. Any chance?
I think Florida's going to win.
You think Florida's going to beat
I do.
Duke?
I think Florida's sort of – this is the game where I think Florida kind of – it's their turn to sort of make the statement.
Yeah.
And I think I think Xavier Lee is sort of rounding into form after just an atrocious start. So I think he's too good of a player to stay playing at that level for very long. I think Florida is I think that this is, to me, a good barometer game for the championship medal that this Florida team will have, the edge that this Florida team will have, and I think Florida gets it done.
Well, I tell you what, we're on opposite ends of the world. I think Duke covers the 9.
Oh wow!
So I think Duke wins by 11 or 12 points here. So we'll because it's in Cameron Indoor and I saw a little bit of I've only seen highlights, but I've seen highlights of both Boozers, particularly Cameron Boozer. He's good now. He's like legit. Of course he is. He's a Duke, for God's sake. Yeah. So you're exactly right. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, Colts and Jags around the corner, and Hayes made a good point. A lot of it depends on how many of those guys the Jags get back, doesn't it?
Well, they got 3 big ones back last week, and I think you're going to get, both Trayvon Walker and Eric Armstead back as well. So that's really trending well for Jacksonville, and we'll see what happens with Eric Murray. But first things first, if I'm stuttering here and I feel a little bit distracted, it's because I'm having a tough time trying to fill out the credential request for Duke, Virginia on Saturday night. I mean, that is what it's all about. And can you imagine if Duke actually wins?
And
the ACC doesn't get into a 12-team college football playoff?
How about that? Well,
I don't think they should.
Well, if Duke wins, they're not getting in.
No way can they get in.
So
I think it's Miami or that's
bust.
it. Yeah.
It's Miami or bust. If Duke wins the game, it's Miami or bust.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's incredible.
I'm saying 25,000 plus. And if Duke has a basketball game, then it goes under 20.
Yeah.
Under 20,000.
And by the way, Rick,
Virginia has a lacrosse match.
Yeah, right. And by the way, everybody hated divisions. So it's better off. It's better off. Give me divisions. You know why? Because then I know who's in the damn game.
I miss it.
The tiebreakers with these 38-team conferences, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea who gets in.
They're just too massive now.
College football's messed
there's
up.
There's not
right
enough
now.
head-to-head. Yeah, it's a real problem.
All right, what's coming up tonight, Rick?
Man, we got a lot, and absolutely our focus will be completely on the Colts coming in here. We know they haven't won in 10 consecutive trips, and they've lost 3 out of 4, and they're an injured football team in Indianapolis. So Dave Waddell's going to join me at around 6:18. Also, some college football later in the program with Niall Lawrence Stample. It's all coming up.
All right, Rick, thanks. Sounds good, buddy. Rick Ballou, he goes into the night. That is right now. We're out here. Thanks again to my friends at the Nimnicht family of dealerships, Nimnicht Chevrolet. Of course, Nimnicht Buick GMC. We sure appreciate our friends from Nimnicht. We always do. Always a wonderful Tuesday sponsor. And thanks to the folks at Firehouse for coming out there, having us out. To Brenton Strange for coming by as well. We had a wonderful time here at Firehouse Subs here in Julington Creek. We're out here. See you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.